What's going on, Hits fam? Your girl, Kimmy B, hanging out in our beautiful penthouse studio with the one, the only Miss Lennon Stella.
Hi.
Welcome, girl.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie.
Okay, don't lie.
When I heard Lennon Stella, of course, you know, I get to Googling and doing all of that. I was so ridiculously excited that it was you because I was a Nashville fan.
Oh.
So even though I wanted to slap you sometimes
I know, I feel
in
that.
the show.
I feel that.
You know what I'm
feel
saying? Like you did some wild stuff.
I did.
Like
I
I would
did.
want to like grab you and
No, I
shake you.
know.
You're so ridiculously talented.
Oh, thank you.
Like unbelievable. That show was great, but I feel like that show was really a testament to what country music is because country music
Totally.
artists are ridiculously talented.
Totally.
Like, there's no kind of faking it
Yep.
in that space. It's
Totally.
acoustic. It's usually an artist and a guitar.
Very honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always, even in pop music, you know, which is what we play here at the New Hits 97.3, the best of the best as far as top 40 goes, you know, it's a true testament when we bring an artist in for an interview or maybe like a live session, and all
Totally.
they've got is a stripped down version, you know, of
Yeah.
whatever we've been playing on the radio, and it's always nice to be pleasantly surprised. But
Oh, yeah. That's
kind
the
of-
best.
we
When
kind
you
of-
can take it, when you can take it from being like a very produced song and taking it just to like guitar or piano, that's when you know it's like a really good song. When
For
you can do that
sure.
with it, you know?
But you're kind of like, there's no surprise. We know you're amazing.
Aw,
Like,
thank you.
really not. Like,
Thank
it's like,
you.
okay, the girl can sing. Like, it is what it is. We've kind of known that from jump. So what else are you going to do for us?
Oh, my gosh.
So how has that been, though, coming from that space and now really, because clearly music has always been, I think, what you've wanted to do, yes?
Totally, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a different world going from like the acting and just like TV world to like full on solo music. It's a different world for sure. But yeah, it's cool to like have that experience, and also like it literally set me up in a lot of ways, like personally, but then also like career wise, like it set me up to the exact point that I need to be, and then be 18, the show finishes. You know what I mean? Like it was like a great 6-year chunk of my life. It was like 12 to 18, and then when that finished, I was able to do my own solo stuff. And
You know, do you feel like it really, I mean, I feel like it must have really prepared you for the intensity of this business.
100%, yeah.
Because, like, there's no playing. When you have a set schedule and you've got to be up to shoot or, you know, a full day worth of takes and all of those things, and you're dealing with a situation where there's so many different moving pieces, like, that show is a true ensemble cast.
Yep.
But when I think about being a young artist just coming into this business, you really kind of have a leg up on other people, don't you think?
That's the thing that's like really I do appreciate, because like I was trained at such a young age, like being 12, like you just have to be so professional. Like you have to be so on time. Like it's actually, that's what's in a way like hard for me to be like, okay, I'm still 20. Like I can just like, in the music industry, it's so not like that. It's like very lax. Like you can just like be very flexible, and it's just very different in this world. Whereas like with acting and being on TV, like it's extremely regimented, like it's very, very strict. And like, but coming from that and learning to be like really professional at a very young age for like 6 years of growth, and like discovering myself as a human being as well, because I'm 12 to 18, like I'm just, that's my legit, like my only learning, you know, is done at that time in my life. And then so then bringing that, what I learned from that into this, it makes me be able to like handle a lot more, you know?
Let me tell you, girl, from being on the radio, we appreciate your professionalism, honey. Let me tell you, we love it when you are on time.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Please don't let
I won't.
Don't
I
let the
promise.
music business jade you, okay?
I won't.
Don't pick up our nasty little habits.
I don't think I could
Don't
if I tried.
do it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's the kind of stuff that like program directors, like the folks who decide to play your music, will like remember. Like, this girl was on time. She was professional. She had her ish together. Like, yeah, she was with him. Like, play her record. We're gonna play her record just because she didn't waste my damn time.
Totally.
You know?
No, it's a good thing to like have, like, just because that's literally how, that's all I've ever known. Like that's like it. It's hard for me to like let loose and be the opposite. It's like harder for me to do that, to be honest.
Do you get frustrated with other people? Like,
Yes.
okay, so you're clearly on a tour right now.
Yes.
And I'm not going to ask you to talk about Alex and Drew because they're great guys.
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
And the Five Sauce Boys, you know,
course.
5 Seconds of Summer. This is a pretty impressive tour lineup, by the way.
They're amazing.
Like,
They're amazing.
crazy town. But like in those situations, because you're dealing with sometimes entourages or other people,
Of course.
Is it one of those things where you're like always ready and on time, like when they're packing up the bus, or like you're sitting there at sound check, like, yo, where is everybody?
If I was having, like, I mean, it's pretty separated. Like, they do their thing. I do my thing as far as like on the tour, other than like hanging out. But that would be me if I had anything. If I had anything to do with like, you know, scheduling, making sure that they were on time, it would be the death of me. I would lose like many years of my life. Yeah,
I love it. So that's funny. So do you guys? Because I was gonna say, because you know they spend a lot of time in Miami, and we're on our own little like time thing here. Girl, don't be. I'm just saying, like, don't hold it against us. We call it like Caribbean time.
Okay.
It's a little off. Like, you know, you got to tell people like an hour before you really want them somewhere in Miami.
Is that what it's
swear
like?
To God, because you can always blame it on traffic here.
Okay.
Like
so
always,
they have like that to blame.
They didn't sit in traffic. They were 5 minutes down the street. The Palmetto was crazy. It's like literally being down the street in like LA, right? Beverly Hills or something like that. And then somebody blaming it on the 405. And you're like, no, you walked down the street.
You skipped.
Yeah, like exactly. Like you were texting someone, you were playing on the gram, you were doing something else. So
no, I can, if I know that going in, then it's fine. It's fine. I can adjust. You know, that's fine.
How do you deal with the creative process, though? Like, because, like you said, music is very different. Studio time, just that creative process. Like, you know, when you act, you're given a script. You kind of know where you're going with something, whereas music is from scratch.
Yeah, and there's also, like, ultimately, like, you know, being on a TV show, you always have a director. There's always somebody watching your every move being like, move your hand like more like this or like whatever it is. Like, whereas now I'm my own director. I'm the boss of whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? So there's nobody telling me what's wrong or right or what looks good or what doesn't. I mean, unless I want someone's opinion. But it's like, it's very much like I'm the one driving. Whereas before I got so used to like, you would, you know, do a scene, then you walk out and then everyone either, you know, you just get directed. Like it's never, it's not opinion based. Like it's not like that. So it was definitely an adjustment for me to like flip into this and then all of a sudden be like, oh, like I'm driving, like I'm the one, like it's my decision and it's only up to me really. But yeah, I mean, I'm adjusting to it and I ultimately like this is more so where I belong, like as far as just having that creative freedom. Like I need to have that. And, but yeah, I think that it's very different. It's a different world for sure.
And are you loving it?
Oh my God, yeah. I love it so much. And it's happened so smooth and so organic and like, yeah, it just feels very right.
You've worked with some pretty cool people. Like I know you worked with Jonas Blue, and Liam Payne. We've interviewed Jonas when he comes down like for Ultra, you know what I mean? Because he's a phenomenal, not just he's DJ, amazing. But he's a really great producer.
Yep.
Did you work with Illenium too?
So that song with Chainsmokers is with Lennon as
perfect.
well.
Yes.
I didn't work with, they had it pretty much already finished.
Got you, and you
just stepped in on it, yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, though, that, you know, there was a time in music where everybody would kind of have to be in the studio together, and now it's like you can make these amazing collaborations. You can be all over the world, and everybody just kind of drops in their verse or their lines. Do you like to work with people?
Yeah, if it's possible, like it's all, like just automatically warmer when you can like be all together and like really get in there. But yeah, I mean it's really cool and really like convenient too at certain times when you can just be like, oh, I would love to have this person on it. They can't be here physically at this time, but they can jump on it, send it to me, and then we can go from there. You know, so. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you come out and perform that song with the Chainsmokers?
I do.
Hey!
I do.
I'm not going to get to go to the show, whatever. I have to work. But at least I know that that's going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Whatevs. It's cool. I'll look for it on the gram. You know what I mean?
You can search for it there.
What was I going to say to you? I want to know, is it frustrating, though? Because, like, the first thing out of my mouth was I wanted to slap you when I saw you on TV. People thinking that they know you because you grew up. I mean, a 6-year run that's an impressive run in anything, but especially in that world. And you and your sister, obviously, really did grow up on television in front of us. Like, do you ever get that, like when you're walking down the street or when you're doing like a meet and greet and people are overly confident or comfortable with you because they really do feel like they're kind of
like
friends?
It's an interesting line because like as far as like that goes, like being really comfortable or like feeling like friends, like that part's my goal. Like I want that. Like that's like
You love that.
I love that. Mm-hmm. But it's when people feel like entitled because they feel like they've known me since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Whereas like, it's like, if I'm not wearing like a turtleneck, they're like, why? Like they just feel like it's like your grandma, like watching,
they feel like they can pass judgment, kind of like
yes. It's like entitlement because they feel like they've like known me since I was a kid. But I'm like, I'm not a kid anymore. It's two, like even you don't know me since I was a kid because like it's just on TV. So like that's where it gets weird is when there's like that judgment of like growing up and just like most people don't have that like documented for the world, you know. So that's where it gets annoying. But as far as like people like feeling like they know me, like I hope to do that regardless. Just like knock that wall down, you know.
I love that, and that's the beauty of music. That really is what I think people love the most about songs. It's when you listen to something and lyrically you're connected. Like, I can feel this in my soul.
Yes.
You know, please get out of my brain, Lennon.
Yes.
You know, like I joke about that all the time, but it's like when I hear a song and I'm just like, yo, were you in my relationship?
Yeah, you just like, feel so understood. It's the best.
So what are we working on now?
Album. So after this tour, just going back in and like finalizing the album, finishing it all up, and then it'll be out next year, which I'm so excited about.
What is the genre? What can we expect?
Pretty similar like vibe to the EP. Kind of like pop-ish, you know, indie pop.
I love it. So is that your lane?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. When people ask, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Like,
but you know what's cool about it? I was thinking about this before you came in. I was like, yo, that tour is crazy. It's the Chainsmokers, right, who are clearly known around the world as DJs, and then obviously over the past few years, producers, and then now singing on their own tracks and everything, which is very cool. And then you've got 5 Seconds of Summer with their own sound, and then you came from this space where, whether it was your lane or not, I think people probably pegged you a little bit as a country music artist because that's just what we saw you as. And again, great experience, and the fact that you even had a reputation, you know, was already an advantage. But I feel like in music now, you don't have to pick a lane.
See, that's the thing, and that is my dream, is to, at the end of the day, like, just make music that I love, and it can land wherever it wants to land. Like, whatever genre it falls into, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter.
So long as people...
if I connect with it, if people connect with it, it can land somewhere in, like, the folk world, or it can land in the you know, pop world, or whatever it sits in is fine, you know? But I think, it somewhere lands in, like, the pop world as far as when I'm, like, describing myself, but...
Well, and now country is pop.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, hello, they're everywhere. It's Kane Brown, it's Dan and Shay, it's Lil Nas X. Hey. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely very cool. I do want to ask, like, do you miss being with your sister?
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the time?
I mean, she's out on the road with me right now. She comes out.
Shut up!
She always comes out. We're literally inseparable. We're best friends. So it isn't... There was never, like, an adjustment. Like, it was never like, oh, we're together, now we're not. Like, we've always been so tight, and I think the only thing that really changed is just releasing songs together and not being on a TV show. It kind of all happened at once.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, there's just such an age difference at this time. It's really significant, and it is too much for us both to sing about the same things and feel it.
Well, it's funny because it kind of reminds me, it's like, it's very, the irony to who the two of you are in real life and then who you played on the show.
No, I know.
It's almost like, were you guys stalking us?
I mean, they
did you write this show for us and you just didn't know it? Like, because even the story,
definitely like that. It was like, as it was going, it was definitely taken from real life things.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, if you didn't watch Nashville, shame on you. You can go back and you can clearly binge it at this point, and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. But when you know, the emancipation and you moving on and separating from your sister and doing it on your own. And I mean, do you see more acting in your future too?
I would love to circle back and, like, after I just explore this world real quick and just see, like, what happens, and I put all my energy into the music, but circle back later and do, like, I don't know if I would do, like, another full-length TV show. It's a lot of energy.
That's a huge commitment.
But it's a huge commitment. But I could see myself doing, like, movies, independent movies, or, like, even, like, short TV series and stuff like that. Yeah. I would love to. I do love acting.
Would love to have you do that too. I'm just saying, because you guys are both super, super talented. But
thank you.
I wasn't kidding when I said I was, like, really hyped when I was like, oh, shut up. And now my mom's going to be so jealous.
Tell your mom I
Sorry,
said hi.
Mommy.
Hi, Mom.
And now I know we're going to wrap up. You're Chris is looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, shut up, Kim. No, he's like, no, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I like to put pressure on the rap people sometimes. Do you have anything that you hate being asked? Because now you've been doing this for a while. Like, I want to start asking artists this so that, A, I avoid asking the questions they hate being asked, but just because I think it's funny. Like, is there something that you just are so like, not again, or why are you asking me that?
I think the one thing would be what I said as far as, like, for me personally with, like, just the TV show and all that, like, it's very different. I think there was such a, like, idea of what I would do, but it was a character. So it'd be like, oh, like, you know, like, someone literally said this to me in an interview. They're like, you used to be so cute, and, like, now you're so sexy. Why? And I was like,
because I'm grown.
What? Like, there's just, like, this weird, like, underlying thing of, like, growing up. And, like, that's my thing is, like, how come you've changed so much? Or, like, why didn't you, you know, why didn't you do country music? Like, that's the thing is, like, there's just, but then it's, like, it's a character. It's not me. That was never me. So
I wonder what they ask. What was, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart, but what was your mom's name on the show?
Oh, Raina James.
Raina James. Did they ask her, how did you come back to life? Like, girl, I thought you died. What are you doing in the studio? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should ask if somebody says that to you next time. Be like, dude, did you ask
Connie,
like, how's she still living?
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
They'd probably be like,
that's amazing.
She's such a smart ass.
Yeah, it's so rude. No, that's so true, though. And it's like, they just, they blur the lines. But, yeah, it's only when it has to do with me, like, growing up, I'm just like, you try growing up in front of, like, all these people, like, and see what happens when you actually just, like, have normal human growth. Like, that's just what happens.
I love it. No, but there is a lot of pressure. But I like, again, it's kind of like, you know, I always admire now when I see it, and I think that we're working up the kinks, and I think social media has been great for that.
Totally.
You know, before we would see child stars, and then we'd see them in their 20s, and they'd be losing their minds, and we never saw that journey in between, and it was kind of like, what just happened? Totally. And now I think we know a little bit more the pitfalls to coming into this business at an early age.
And you can be transparent, and you can be open if you want to, or if you don't want to, that's fine. But, like, for me, I feel like I find it the best when I can just be 100% like open and transparent on social media, so that, like, there isn't anything shocking. Like, nothing ever shocks, like, or nothing.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm scared of. I don't want it to be anything, like, jarring, you know?
Well, all I know is I probably liked 30 of your pictures. So if you go on Instagram, like, before you walked up, you're going to be like, oh, my God, Kimmy B, really? Girl. Jeez. But, yes, you are slaying, and I'm so excited that you came by, and congratulations on everything. Please don't write off coming back to TV. Because we would totally love to have you.
I will not.
Tell Alex and Drew we said hello.
I will, absolutely.
And Five Sauce.
I will.
Are we working on any collaborations? Are we getting in the studio with anybody else? I'm sorry, I just thought
of that. No, you're good.
Like, I need one more piece of information.
Not right now. Right now I'm, like, very album focused. I just want to, like, see what happens when I just put all my energy into that, and then definitely collaborations in the future. There's so many artists I love that I love it too.
Give us Lennon though.
Yeah.
Like, that's who we want to hear from first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you loving right now though? Like, outside of
listening
obviously,
to?
Yeah.
Who do I love right now? I love Tame Impala.
Okay.
I love Beach House. I love Clairo's new album.
Okay. You really are in the indie scene.
I am. Yeah.
I'm like, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it.
She's like, there's no Drake here. Like, no, I'm not going to hit you with, you know, like, no, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm listening to, but I hop all over the place. But
I think that's exciting, though, and I think that that's great exposure for other up-and-coming artists.
Totally.
Because where we're at with social media, like, do you post the artists that you're listening to and, like, show love when you're totally, like, you know, getting all the feels from a record?
Yes.
And then your fans go and look that. I do it. I'm so guilty of that. I'll be like, click, click, click. I get caught in the Matrix.
It's the best. Then you can just, like, find so much new music and share new music, and, yeah, it's the best.
I love it. Well, give out your Instagram and all your social media stuff.
Everything is under Lennon Stella, Twitter and Instagram and everything.
Love it. And we love you. Thank you so much for coming by. And you said new album in 2020, yes?
2020.
Early 2020, mid
2020.
Wait, did y'all catch what she just said though? What? She's coming.
She's coming.
She's coming.
She's coming.
I love it. I was going to say a very bad word. I'm not going to take it there. I can get away with some of the swears. I try not to be just egregious with it because this is the internet, so we're okay. Times. But I love that. Hashtag she's coming. Yes, amazing. Honey. Lennon Stella, have an amazing show. Congratulations on the tour with the Chainsmokers and 5 Seconds of Summer. And just know you always have a home here at the New Hits 97.3.
Thank you so much.
Haha, mommy. I got to hang out with Maddie. It's the New Hits 97.3.